Let me ask you a question. Have you ever woken up one day and realized that the life you built no longer fits the person you are? It's not because you failed, and it's not because you weren't good enough, but it's because something's changed. Something has happened to you. Whether that was a job that ended, a relationship that broke, financial hardships, whatever happens, your body betrayed you, your role disappeared. A version of you quietly died. And suddenly, the question isn't what's next, it's who am I now? If you've ever felt that, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Stronger Than Before. We talk a lot about successes, we talk about resilience, and we talk about confidence. But no one really talks about what happens when your identity collapses, when the moment when your title is gone, the structure's gone, the certainty's gone, and you're standing in the rubble of a life that once made sense, but it doesn't make sense now. And we kind of call that burnout, or we call it imposter syndrome, or sometimes, as a joke, we call it midlife crisis. But most of the time, and it's none of those, it's called identity loss. And no one teaches you how to rebuild from there. I know this terrain intimately. I was a high level executive. I was the COO of an organization, a decision maker, a fixer. I was the woman who walked into rooms and moved outcomes. And then my body betrayed me. I had a stroke that took my voice, not just my ability to speak, my entire identity. The role I played in a world disappeared overnight. The competence I'd relied on evaporated. The version of myself I trusted was gone. And I did what most high achievers do. I tried to rebuild the old me. But I want to let you know something. And this is a spoiler alert, that never works. Because when your identity collapses, you don't rebuild backwards. You rebuild deeper. And here is what most people miss. Identity collapse is not failure. It's initiation. It's that moment life strips away what you did, what you were called, what were you praised for. So when you finally meet who you are without the armor, it's a little bit terrifying because the old self and the new one, there's a void. And humans hate the void. So we rush, we cling, we borrow identities, we chase clarity before we rebuild values. And that's where people get stuck. So welcome to Stronger Than Before. This is not a motivational podcast. It's not your top 5 tips to reinvent your life. This is space for the in-between, the unraveling, the quiet rebuilding, that uncomfortable questions no one else asks. We'll talk about identity collapse after success, losing yourself through trauma, illness, or grief, the death of a high-functioning version of you, why imposter syndrome is often misdiagnosed, how to rebuild identity without rushing clarity, values before vision, rebuilding one choice at a time, and what it actually means to become stronger than before. Not harder, not tougher, not louder, stronger. This podcast is for high achievers who feel lost after making it, professionals navigating midlife reinvention, people whose lives were interrupted by trauma, people who outgrew the version of themselves that they were praised for, anyone who feels like they're standing at the edge of something but doesn't know what yet. If you feel like, I don't want my old life back, but I don't know what replaces it, well, you're in the right place. So what you can expect from this is each episode will be honest. We're going to have real conversations with real people so you can feel comfortable. It'll always be grounded. You'll hear solo reflections from me. You'll hear conversations with people who rebuilt from the ground up. You'll hear practical frameworks for rebuilding identity. You'll also hear language from experiences you haven't been able to name yet. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's really about coming home. So if your life has fallen apart, you are not broken. You are being asked to rebuild differently. And if you're willing to stay long enough to listen and to question, to choose intentionally, you won't just survive this chapter. You'll emerge stronger than before. So welcome to the podcast.